Sorry about that. I was having to ask my my nonconformist wife, who doesn't ever want to come onto my podcast, to turn the TV down a little bit because she's mean. And she goes, "I don't have a good voice." Well, speaking for ourselves, I think we sound very professional, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Golly.
Gore. I like butter.
I do too. All right, welcome to Marginal at Best. The podcast where we really don't even know what we're going to do. And we don't care. Because that's how we do things around here.
we marginally get by.
Yeah, just about. Well, it's like I said, marginally mature adults. That's us. But on today's episode, we were talking last time about, I don't even know how we got on the damn subject. As I was telling Laura, I don't know how we went from, I know, but I don't know how we went from point A to point B.
We never do.
No,
I just know we were talking about Westerns and theme songs to Westerns.
Yes, but we didn't even start out talking about that. We started talking about something else, and then it went to that direction, and then it went to the other direction. And so we kind of ended up talking about, like you said, TV shows and Westerns and stuff. And that led to us thinking about
going off the rails.
My favorite genre of TV is sitcoms, because that's what I grew up on. And the one show that we didn't mention that literally was almost just a template for me growing up as a kid was Mork and Mindy, because of Robin Williams.
Oh, Lord, yes. Which was a spinoff of Happy Days.
Yes, because Mork was originally on Happy Days. And the episode where he and Fonzie got into the E versus the E. So, but I found a few lists. Excuse me. Dang it. Give me a second.
Hairball.
Oh, I'm dying. For some reason, I'm dying right now. Guess all that dust is coming back to haunt me.
Uh-huh.
Something. Jesus.
And all decided to come out now.
Yeah, right now, at this very moment in time. But anyway, I found 4 different lists, and they're all the lists say that they're the 100 best TV sitcoms of all time. And they're all different. Most of them there's a smattering of the same in every one, but they all have, that's just like, none of them have the same number 1 for as a sitcom. And then, like, when Lori and I were looking through them earlier, some of them we don't even consider sitcoms. They're just, I don't know. A lot of them, like one list is a ton of animated stuff, and it's like kids stuff.
And
but if you're going to call it sitcom, yeah, that's what they're calling them, sitcoms. The only one, honestly, well, I mean, I didn't see like American Dad or
Wait, go over the animated list. I'm kind of curious about that now. I mean, if they're calling them sitcoms. Well,
but it's different. But they're not all, I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're all different. But like the first list I found was the 100 greatest American black and white TV sitcoms. So these were all the sitcoms that were done before color television. Right?
I Love Lucy and some of that ilk on further back like that. But
that's what I'm saying. But I mean, they're and it's, but like, okay, so, and again, like I said, this is just 100, this one list, greatest American black and white TV sitcoms. And the number 1 on there is a show called Joe and Mabel, which is something I've never heard of.
Okay, yeah, that's a new one on me also.
Now the George Burns and Gracie Allen show, yes.
Now,
Jack Benny show.
And I was going to ask that question a moment ago. You know, they're calling them sitcoms, situation comedies.
That was a variety show.
But those are variety shows, so would they even fall in that category? Because I was thinking like Laugh-In, but I'm like, no, Laugh-In was just A variety show.
But that's the thing is, so you got George Burns, Gracie Allen, Jack Benny Show, Amos and Andy, the Bugs Bunny Show, which
Yeah.
I never assumed it was called the Bugs Bunny Show. I just know that it was Looney Tunes. But
Did it
yes,
ever?
most of the original animation was black and white, if you think
But
about
did
it.
it ever play at prime time, or was it?
I don't know. But now, like the Honeymooners, yes. I Love
Yes.
Lucy, the Andy
Yes.
Griffith Show, Dick Van
Yes.
Dyke Show, the Phil
Yes.
Silvers Show.
Oh
Then we
yes,
start getting
remember that
into
one?
some obscure ones called Mama, Sally. Now here's another one, Abbott and Costello. That was a variety show,
Yep.
I believe. And then, like I said, you get into some more obscure ones. Karen, Life of Riley, Our Miss Brooks, Mr. Adams and Eve. But then you get into the Adams Family, Pride of the
Yep.
Family. This is Alice, never heard of it. Father of the Bride, I'm kind of familiar. Tom, Dick, and Mary, but I think that was a variety show. Um, a bunch of them, like I said, there's some obscure ones I've never heard of, but ones we have heard of, like Hogan's Heroes.
Yep.
Um, here's one that we completely forgot about the other day when we were talking: Munsters.
Monsters. Yep.
Dun, 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 dun,
Awesome.
dun.
With Spot underneath the
um,
stairs.
yeah. Bringing up Buddy, Valentine's Day, Hey Jeannie, Harris Against the World. Again, ones I hadn't heard of: Bewitched. Everybody's known, and Bewitched was black and white before it was color.
Yep.
Because
So
you
was
had
I Dream of
Dorwood.
Jeannie.
Yeah, that one's right.
Yep.
That's the next one. Well, no, you got Bewitched, Leave It to Beaver. Here's one we forgot about: The Real McCoys.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Yeah. Lori, how'd you forget that one?
she's in her own thing. Another one, and then like I said, there's some other obscure ones. But then you got the Flintstones, which I imagine the Flintstones was maybe a primetime thing for a little while because of what it was. I don't know. Some more obscure ones: Farmer's Daughter, Goldbergs, My Little Margie, the Maury Amsterdam Show. Again, that's uh, a variety show. Like, remember Car 54? Where are you?
Yeah. Yep.
Isn't that where Fred Gwynn got his start before the Munsters?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I did remember that. Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, Donna Reed Show, Father Knows Best, I Dream of Jeannie's on here, McHale's Navy, Gilligan's
Yep.
Island.
Oh,
And these are
McHale's
again,
Navy. Used to love that one.
again,
Gilligan's
these
Island.
are
Yeah, we never
all.
thought about it. It was in black and white too. You're right.
It was in black and white. Beverly Hillbillies,
Yep.
the Lucy Show. Then you have again a bunch of them that I are just so obscure, like the Ruggles. I have no idea, but my favorite Martian,
With
yes, Patty Duke Show.
oh, my favorite
Wasn't it
Martian.
Roddy McDowell?
Was that Roddy McDowell or
I can't remember.
Must find out.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the dude from Lost in Space. But again, you just get. I mean, like, okay, so it's a bunch of obscure
No,
stuff.
not Roddy
Who was it?
McDowell. Bill Bixby, and I completely forgot this. Ray Walston, Mr. Hand from Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
That's right. Oh wow, wow. But like I said, you get some more obscure ones, but then you get Petticoat Junction,
Yep. Oh God, used to love watching Petticoat Junction.
Gomer Pyle, USMC, Dennis the Menace. Here's one that neither one of us, not
Gomer.
Lori,
Yep.
not me, not you, nobody thought of. Mr. Ed.
Yeah, but I was never really a.
I
Whenever it was
know, but
shown,
it's there.
I just never really was a watcher of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right.
Then, like I said, another bunch of obscure stuff, but then F Troop was the end of
Did
that list.
did Green Acres start out as black and white?
F Troop?
No,
Yeah.
Green Acres.
Oh, no, it's not on the list.
Was it? I thought Petticoat Junction was like
It might have been,
a
but it wasn't.
spinoff of.
It could possibly have been, but it wasn't on this list. It didn't make the top 100 on this list. I don't know if Green Acres was Green Acres ever black and white or was it always in color? Do you remember? I remember it in color too. So then,
Wasn't it a
on the
spinoff of? Was it a spinoff of Petticoat
Petticoat Junction,
Junction, or was Petticoat Junction a spinoff of it?
you'll have to look that up because
Because how can Petticoat Junction be, black and white? Green Acres wasn't. Okay, nope. There you
mm,
go. Green Acres was a spinoff of Petticoat Junction.
okay,
So it was Petticoat Junction first.
got it.
Petticoat Junction came out in '63. Green Acres started in '65.
Like I said, that was just the list that said the 100 greatest American black and white TV sitcoms. Now,
Okay.
the next three lists I got, one's from Paste Magazine, whatever that is. Their 100 best sitcoms, Rolling Stone Magazine 100 best sitcoms, and then this one's called Stackers 100 best sitcoms.
Okay, I've heard of
That's the one.
Stackers. Let's go Rolling Stone first.
Okay, because Rolling Stone. Okay, so Rolling Stone's list, and again, there's some obscure ones in here, but a lot that I do know. They said that they're number one, and Lori kind of argued about this and or disputed, or anyway, she didn't like it. Their number one all time 100 best sitcom was The Simpsons. I actually consider The Simpsons a sitcom because it's always aired in prime time.
I'm not sure I'd
And
make it
it's
number
a
one, but
no, I wouldn't make it number one, but I say it's a sitcom because, like I said, it's always aired in prime time, even when it was on Tracy Ullman.
yep,
Those little signets they had of that on there,
yep.
but it's still going.
It's been going since 1989. Do you realize that?
Yeah, it's still going. So, but that's why I consider it a sitcom.
Yes.
Even though it's an animated sitcom, I think it's a sitcom. All right. So, one of my top 5 all time, Cheers,
Yep.
Seinfeld, I Love Lucy, All in the Family. Here's another one we didn't think about, MASH.
MASH. Yep.
That was
I love
Mary
MASH.
Tyler Moore Show. They had The Honeymooners.
Yep.
Parks and Recreation, which I never watched that, but Chris Pratt pretty much I'm not gonna say that's where he started, but that's pretty much what got him known,
Yeah, got him out there.
was Parks and Recreation. The Larry Sanders Show, Dick Van Dyke Show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Frasier, which was a spinoff of Cheers.
Yep.
Andy Griffith Show, Arrested Development, which I never watched. The Cosby Show. Here's another one we didn't think about, Taxi.
Yep.
30 Rock, Roseanne.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever heard of BoJack Horseman? Because that one's on almost all the lists for the kind of, I guess, newer stuff. I've never heard of BoJack Horseman. And then you got some obscure stuff, I guess. Fleabag, South Park, everybody knows. The Office, Community, Atlanta, Bob Newhart Show, Louie, Malcolm in the Middle, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, The Office from the UK, the original. Now, here's one you probably remember because I know I remember. I don't remember watching a whole lot of it, but I remember seeing some of it. Faulty Towers.
Oh, yes. Oh, good Lord, yes.
The Golden Girls, Better Things. Now, here's where it gets kind of goofy. They got SpongeBob SquarePants on this. That's a kid's cartoon. I don't consider that a sitcom.
And
Everybody Loves
never really
Raymond.
came on prom time.
No.
Did it?
I don't believe so. If it does, it's because it's on whatever it is, Nickelodeon or whatever at night. But you got Everybody Loves Raymond, Sex and the City, Bob's Burgers, Friends, which I think Friends should have been higher on this list. Blackish. Another one called Review, I've never heard of. King of the Hill. Mm-hmm. Brockmire, no idea. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Veep,
Brockmire,
never saw. Broad City, The Good Place, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which I do admit was the first few seasons of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were hilarious.
Yep.
But then as it got into the later seasons, it got more serious, I think.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, that one was funny. Here's one that was funny no matter what. Jeffersons.
Yes. Spin-off of?
Um, All in the Family.
Yep.
No, wait, it was. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yes, it was.
That's right. Barney Miller, which my dad never missed. My
Oh, I
dad
used to
never
love
missed
Barney
an
Miller.
episode of Barney Miller. That was his go-to show. Again, News Radio,
I
Police
love News
Squad,
Radio. That was great.
Scrubs, Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was more of a variety show though, wasn't it? The Bernie Mac show? Wasn't it kind of
No,
like
no,
Chappelle?
no, 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 no. It was actually
Oh, yeah. If you want to be involved, come over here and talk, woman. Don't just shout from the outside. No,
It
okay.
was
I know what you're talking about. Bernie Mac
yeah,
was his show. It was just
yeah.
called the Bernie Mac show.
Bernie
I
Mac show.
got you.
Yeah.
Here's another one we forgot about. The original Odd Couple.
Oh, Jack Klugman and Tony Randall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Murphy
Quincy.
Brown. Yeah, Quincy MD.
Before he's Quincy MD.
Here's another one I forgot about that I thought was, and again, when it in its prime, it was great. Good Times.
Good times. Yep.
They've got What We Do in the Shadows, but I've never seen that one. I've seen the commercials for it, but I never really thought about it too much.
I've watched a couple of them. They're actually not bad, but just
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, they look
grabs
funny.
me in them. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another one that Phineas and Ferb. That's a freaking cartoon. It's a kid's
it's another
cartoon.
Nickelodeon. Yeah.
But here's one that we forgot about too that I know you'll know. Get Smart.
Oh my God, I love Get Smart. Used to watch it all the time.
Missed them by
Used-
that much.
That much. Oh no, the cones of silence were always my favorite. The big cones that come down, they couldn't hear each other.
Yeah. Well, the shoe phone.
The shoe phone. I always
The shoe
wanted
phone.
one.
I know. That was the coolest thing ever.
As a kid, I had a crush on Barbara Adams.
Who
Age
didn't?
99. Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, Bernie Capel played Doc from Love Boat. He was one of the bad guys.
Yeah. So then you got some
Love Boat. There you go. There's another one.
that's not on my list.
I know it's kind of weird.
Yeah, that one didn't. Yeah, I know. Rick and Morty.
Okay,
I've never watched a full episode of Rick and Morty.
Really?
Nope.
I've watched some of them. Some of them are okay. Some of them you're going, damn. How did they get away with that crap?
Absolutely fabulous. Futurama, which I thought Futurama was another good one. I thought that was funny when it came out. Black Adder, no idea. New Girl, no idea.
Black Adder? Oh yeah. British comedy. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Now here's one that I forgot about when I saw on the list. It brought back all of the Crush when it came on. One Day at a Time.
Yep. Valerie
Bertinelli.
Oh
Hubba,
yeah.
hubba. Have you seen her lately?
No.
She gained a lot of weight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of weight, but now she's lost it all. I don't know what she did. I don't know if it's this diet that she's doing or if she did the stomach thing. Don't really care. She looks incredible now. She is back to, she looks like Valerie Bertinelli did back on One Day at a Time, just a little older, not the young Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah.
Did you ever see, what was it? What was her show with Betty White and all them?
Oh, Hot in Cleveland?
Hot in Cleveland.
Yes.
She's back to that Valerie Bertinelli.
Oh, okay.
She kind of put some weight on for a little while, but then she's lost it all back. But see, she was doing Kids Baking Championship on Food Network.
Yep.
And you can see that she gained some weight. But I think a lot of that was because of, and don't quote me on this, but just outsider looking in, when you really saw her changing when Eddie passed away.
Yeah. I can believe that.
Even though they weren't married, they were still best friends. She's done interviews saying they were still tight, even though they divorced and went their separate ways and met new people and everything else. And the biggest thing was because of Wolfgang is what kept them, as a tight family group. Yeah. So, but anyway, getting on a tangent. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Awesome. The turkey
Dr.
drop.
Johnny Fever. Dr. Johnny Fever, man.
Actually, my favorite episode was when they were getting drunk on the air.
Yep. I was just thinking the same thing. He's getting faster. I don't know. That show had me hooked when the pilot episode came on and the dude hung up the Kiss poster and it was the Kiss the Revolution poster because they were Peter Criss had the snare drum and it was like I said it was like from the Revolution where they were marching. That one I was like, yep, I like this show. Good show. Sanford and Son, Will and Grace, How I Met Your Mother. Now here's one that I've only seen again snippets online, but Letterkenny.
Yep.
That's some funny shit. Modern Family. Now here's one I said something to Lori about that she didn't remember, but I don't know if you've ever saw it. Do you remember Soap?
Good Lord, yes.
That one broke so many barriers because I think that was one of the first.
Billy Crystal. Was it not Richard Mulligan? I can see his face. I can't remember his name. Oh, Lord,
I know you're talking
Lord,
about.
yeah. That's one of Billy Crystal's big starts.
Yeah, and it broke some barriers because one of the characters was gay. The one kid had the mannequin or the ventriloquist dummy.
Yep.
There were just so many different things about that show that was cool. A Different World, Big Bang Theory. Here's another one, Daria. They don't put Beavis and Butthead on here, but they put Daria on here.
Really? Interesting.
Now this one I have no idea why it's even here. Bluey. I don't know if that's an old show named Bluey or if it damn sure can't be this new fucking dog thing on TV. But then we get into another one of my top 5 all-time favorite sitcoms, period, end of story. Night Court.
Night Court. Yep, it had to be Night Court.
What were their characters' names? June and Bob and June? Brent Spiner. Brent Spiner and his wife's character.
Oh yeah. The country bump can just talk real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course,
No,
that
she
wasn't
died
the first place. That wasn't the first time I ever saw Brent Spiner, though.
That was the first time I ever saw him.
First time I ever saw him. Remember the old Tales from the Dark Side series?
Yes.
Where the grandfather died, but he didn't believe he was dead. He kept on coming back around, was sitting there.
Yeah, he refused to die.
Yeah. Brent Spiner was the pastor that came out and talked to him.
Then I've seen him before Night Court, too.
That was Christian Slater in that, too, yeah.
Well, also, and I think the grandfather was
Eddie Brackett.
From Munsters. Was he not?
No. That wasn't Grandpa from the Munsters. You know, I'll tell you who he was.
Who?
He was the guy who owned Wally World in National Lampoon's Vacation.
I just know that I remember him. I remember seeing him somewhere, but I also remember how they got him to realize he was dead.
The black tablecloth, the black napkin with the pepper in it. Made him sneeze and blow his nose in it.
Yeah, he blew his nose off. Yeah. But yeah, Night Court though. Night Court was the greatest. Just like, what happened to your grandmother? She died in her sleep. Oh, that's not too bad. On the railroad tracks.
I don't know. My favorite was when Dan got stuck in the elevator with the rich socialite.
Yeah.
Remember John Wayne? How do you think he got that walk?
That thing finally opens up. He walks out. Dan, you all right? Everything's fine. Pilgrim. Then, of course, the one with Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
Where he's looking at the picture. She gives him those pictures. Here's something to remember me by. He turns him over.
Oh. Yeah. His boss.
The midget.
It's a dwarf. It keeps yelling
Yeah.
at him.
I don't know. The best part was near at the very end of that episode when she's walking out and she's wearing a trench coat
Yeah.
and she goes, "Dan, I've had all this time in New York and I couldn't find anything to wear." And she flashes him and he walks over to the water hose. What? He punches through it and grabs the hose. Yeah, like I said, those were great. They haven't done anything. I don't care what anybody says. They haven't. Night Court and Cheers. We can go on about. We could do a whole episode on Cheers.
Oh, good Lord. Those two alone. Good Lord.
But the one thing from Cheers that I'll say, one of my favorite, except for the normisms and everything else, my favorite scenes from Cheers is when Coach was still on the show and the phone rings and he picks up the phone and he goes, "Cheers. Hold on a second. I'll say, hey, is there an Ernie Kovacs here? That's you, Coach. Oh, speaking." Like I said, just too damn funny. All right, this is Paste Magazine's 100 Best Shows. Which, okay, I'll try to get through this and so we don't run too long. Honeymooners. Here's one we thought we didn't think about. Welcome Back, Cotter. John Travolta.
Oh, God, yes.
Mr. Cotter. Mr. Cotter. Again, some of these I've never heard of. Happy Endings, New Girls, Girlfriends. Reno 911 I've heard of but never watched. They got Night Court on this one. This one has Mork and Mindy on it, which was one of the greatest shows ever. I don't care what anybody says. Even when they had him and Jonathan Winters, forget it.
Oh, God.
Forget it. Glow, The Game, Fresh Off the Boat, Will and Grace. Another one that I loved and I tried to never miss, Family Ties. Michael Gross, Michael J. Fox, Justine Bateman.
At the beginning, I was not a big fan. As it got later on, I actually grew to like it more.
I liked it. It was just so different because you never saw a character who always wore a shirt and tie. He
True.
always wore a shirt and tie. He never was out of a shirt and tie. Different Strokes.
Yep.
What you talk about, Willis?
Nobody's mentioned
Family
Facts of
Guy
Life
made this
either.
list. Yeah. That one, I don't know if that one's on this list or not, but I remember Facts of Life.
That was a spinoff of Different Strokes.
Yeah. But Murphy Brown, Family Guy, Gilligan's Island's on this one. The Venture Brothers is on this one. Laverne and Shirley, there's one. It's on this list.
Yep.
It wasn't on the others. Everybody Hates Chris, which is a funny show. A Different World, which is a spinoff of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Nope.
Cosby. It was a spinoff of Cosby. Sorry.
There you go.
Yep. Because the oldest daughter, going to college.
Yeah, Lisa Bonet's character.
Yeah. I said most of these, Bob Newhart is there. Good Times. It's on this one.
Right.
Wonder
You
Years.
listed. You said that a moment ago. You said the Bob Newhart show. But what about?
Yeah, that was when
Newhart?
he was. No, this is just the Bob Newhart show.
And see, I like Newhart also, where he
Yeah,
was
I
the
did too.
innkeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the very end, he woke up and it was all a dream.
Yep. Suzanne Plachette and all of them were back there. Yep.
Yeah. Spoiler. This one actually lists Happy Days. Martin was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
This one I thought this on this list it said, and of course Married with Children. You can't have a sitcom list without Married with Children, because the best part about Married with Children was it was everything Cosby Show wasn't.
Yes.
And that was the appeal. Everybody on the Cosby Show was squeaky clean and everything was good and everything ended right. Married with Children was the exact opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Then they had Anthrax on at one point. They had Anthrax on one of their episodes.
Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah, they did. Newhart's on this one. So there's Newhart. Friends, MASH, All in the Family. Pretty much the same. Yeah, these are all pretty much. And they
You know
put
which one I
Cheers as
have
their
not
number
heard you
100.
mention yet at all?
Well, I got one more list.
All right. I'm hold. I'm
This is
hold
the
off
one.
on.
This Stackers is the one that has more animated stuff on it. Rick and Morty, The Office, Friends, Seinfeld, Sunny in Philadelphia, Arrested Development, Freaks and Geeks. This one has BoJack Horseman on there again. Kirby Enthusiasm, Marvelous Miss Maisel, Simpsons, Parks Recreation, Archer, Adventure Time. See again, Adventure
Archer.
Time.
Oh, I loved Archer.
Community, Silicon Valley, which I don't know, Schitt's Creek, Louie, Flight of the Concords, Regular Show, which is another animated thing, Modern Family, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Futurama, Entourage, Broad City, The Boondocks, I Love Lucy, Larry Sanders Show, How I Met Your Mother, Scrub, Masters of None, Blue Mountain State, Veep, and Andy Griffith, Dick Van Dyke, Adventures of Pete and Pete, Good Place, 30 Rock. Some of these I've never heard of. The League, Grace and Frankie, Party Down. The Amazing World of Gumball. I mean, that's a freaking cartoon.
That was
Resident
kind of funny
Alien,
though.
which Resident Alien's kind of new. Um,
Mm, been on about 3 or 4
Family
seasons now.
Guy. I said some of these high maintenance clone show. That 70 shows on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Orville made this list. Boy Meets
Wow.
World. Um, Life is, like I said, some of the Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. That was a cartoon, but it was not. It wasn't even on that long. Um, Dexter's Laboratory made this one, so I'll give him that. Adam's Family. That's pretty much. And this one listed The Tick.
Oh,
And
I
then they
love the
also
tick. But
listed,
which tick though?
I don't know, probably, well, they had it on there twice, so I'd imagine it was animated and
Live action.
the live action. But that one also listed My Name is Earl.
The one I have not heard you mention on any of your list though. Three's Company.
What was that other one you said, Lo? Oh, Carol Burnett Show. Even though it was a
Yeah.
variety show, Carol Burnett.
Well,
I
see,
mean,
that goes
Carol
was like
Burnett was,
Mama's Family. That was
yeah,
actually a sitcom.
spinoff. That was a spinoff of Carol Burnett.
Well, see, like, all right, we talk about the variety shows versus sitcoms. You know, they didn't list Laugh In, but that was variety show, Carol Burnett variety show.
Yeah, and
The Smothers Brothers.
there's a, but Laugh In was literally a launching pad, like Saturday Night Live
Yeah, and see, that's another one
for
they did not list. You know,
comedians.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
Um,
we're talking old Saturday Night Live, not this new shit. Ugh.
well, any of them though. Imagine the original one with Dan Aykroyd and Chevy Chase, the original. You know, when it first started all John
Gilda
Belushi,
Radner,
Gilda Radner, all them.
Jane
Jane
Curtin.
Curtin. Mm-hmm.
What was his name? Grant Morris? No.
Oh yeah. I know you're talking about.
Oh, what was his name? Because he was one of the original cast members.
Yes.
Oh, can't think of his name. It's killing me.
Didn't he pass away?
I don't know, but he was he. I mean, he was an original. I mean, he was the only black character on there, but he was one of the original Saturday Night Live that made it big. Because when that show went big, they were all well known. I can't think of his name.
Let's go back in the archives, shall we?
He was.
All right.
What was his name?
Could know that was before. Garrett Morris.
Garrett Morris.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was Morris. I knew the Morris was in there somewhere.
Yep.
But
Radner. Belushi. I forgot. Colin Quinn was a member of them also.
That was but that was during the Adam
That was
Sandler, and
yeah.
that was the Sandler, David Spade, Rob Schneider,
Chris
um,
Farley.
yeah,
And see,
during those guys.
we
Rick
remember
Warren.
more of the Eddie Murphy, John Lovitz, that era in there.
Billy Crystal,
Yep.
when Billy Crystal was on there. You're looking
Um,
marvelous.
it was Billy Crystal.
Yeah, well, that was
What?
on there.
Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon.
Yep.
Actually, and I think if I remember right, the first couple of seasons with the Eddie Murphy, time frame, Kevin Nealon wasn't a regular player. He was listed as an extra. It wasn't until like the third season they were in that actually added him as a regular player.
Norm Macdonald, Dennis Miller. Can't forget Dennis Miller.
I wouldn't.
Weekend Update with Dennis Miller.
Dennis
Well,
Miller.
you got to
Yep.
remember Weekend Update with Dennis. Oh
That
man,
was
he
that was
rocked
a
it.
that was a John Lovitz era.
Yeah. Yep. Chris Rock.
Yep.
He was on there. So a lot of people got their starts on those variety shows.
Right.
So
The Al Franken, he was in there during that also.
yeah, when he was actually funny.
Yep.
But I said those are the four lists I found. So
Anthony Michael Hall.
like I said,
He was a member.
yeah, Anthony Michael Hall. Well, Robert Downey Jr. was on there
I was trying to remember if he was or not.
for a short period. I believe he was there because that was during the. I want to say he was. Yeah, he was on there. He did Saturday Night Live for a little while because that was during the John Hughes movies, that era.
Yep.
So
I'm trying to figure out how many actual episodes he was in.
well,
Yep.
that's
Jared
gonna,
Morris. Yep.
but that's gonna cover what we've got today. And again, hopefully us talking about these things brings you down to memory lane and puts a smile on your face when you start thinking about a lot of these shows that we were talking about because they brought a smile to my face. Like I said, just thinking about Night Court and Cheers, and because those were my two favorites of all time.
Well, it wasn't just the fact they made us laugh; it's the fact that at the time hardly nobody had cable. You might have had a
Yeah.
few friends that had, their family had the big satellite dishes, but it's when you go to school the next day and you talk about, the episode from the night before. Hey man, did you see this? Or did you see him when you did this? Stuff like that.
Or you would tell the
Yep.
new normism.
Yep.
Yeah. How's it going, Mr. Peterson? It's a dog eat dog world, and I'm wearing milk bone underwear. You know,
Of course, you know my favorite. Dance, Clavin.
or he's wearing the shot collar. But like I said, hopefully that brings a little smile to your face. We gotta figure out our next caper we'll get into. But yeah, maybe we'll look at movies. We'll start scrolling through some movies and see what we can find.
Oh, movies from the 70s and 80s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I think we got it covered there.
Yeah, we can definitely cover those.
I mean, hell, just the 80s alone for us.
Yeah.
A lot of the really big ones that we really love.
Yeah. But remember, so Marginal at Best, you can find us on Spotify. I've been trying to repost it to all the different sites There's too many to list, but I'm trying to get them back on all those, like Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. There's some Google podcast site or something, but the big ones were on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X. Not Instagram. No, not Instagram. We're not on Instagram. I'm on Instagram, but I don't put the show on Instagram. But I post the show on X, Facebook. If you Google, if you go to any podcast site and Marginal at Best pops up, that's us.
Yep.
So this is our 19th episode. Next week will be our 20th episode. We'll have 20 of these in the can, as they say. It's in the can. So, but like, subscribe, share it, tell people about it. Let us know anything we can do, anything we can't do, except quit, because I'm not going to quit. Because why? Because I like doing this. That's why. But anyway, we're going to get out of here. We will hopefully try to get my wife on one time. I don't think it's going to happen because she says, I don't like my voice. I'm like, I don't care. Shut up and sit down.
We'll get on there.
We still got to get Rap.
Yep. We
still got to
get
Rap.
his schedule.
And we got to get Morgan.
Yep. Her schedule too.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's schedule.
Hers is hectic because she's in the military.
Yeah. She's keeping us safe, and I'm happy about it. So, but anyway, till next week.
Sharktopus.
I can't wait to talk about that great, great classic cinematic offering. Yeah. What kind of award? I don't know. But till next week, we'll see you guys later. This has been Marginal at Best.
Don't miss the start of the hostilities, Bat fans. Next week, same bat time, same bat channel.